So now we discuss the problems that are holding you back, and there are 7 unconscious loops running your reality right now. And you need to be able to see them clearly. These are invisible loops, but they control everything you do. And until you break these loops, nothing changes or nothing changes permanently in your reality. Problem number 1 is your internal dialogue. Your internal voice, the words in your head, what goes on up here focuses on problems and pain. Your words feed what you fear, and it's not intentional. You're hardwired as a man to do this. Our job is to protect, it's to survive. So we're looking for problems all the time, and we're putting out fires and fixing problems in our business. But we bring that into our personal life with ourselves and the people that we love. It creates so much destruction. Now, that inner voice is constantly saying things like, I'm not enough, I can't do this, she's pulling away, she doesn't care, my wife doesn't help out, I'm not appreciated, my business is falling apart, I have no time, it's hard, I can't find good staff. Have you ever said any of those things out loud or thought them in your head? And that dialogue, those words create emotion. They create fear, doubt, anger, frustration, stress, and that emotion drives weak actions. You show up from a frame of scarcity and negativity, and those actions create weak results. And this loop repeats over and over again due to your inner dialogue. The second problem is emotional blindness. You don't understand your emotional state. You get triggered and you lose control. What does this mean? When you don't understand your emotions, they control you. You get angry, you don't realize it's happening, you're not aware of it in the moment, you snap at your wife and kids, and then you feel guilty afterwards. You're not sitting there going, how am I going to yell at my kids and mapping out how to do it? It happens by default. It happens because that's your natural state. Your words are, my kids are acting up. You're not aware of it. Your emotions are anger, you blow up. This is all happening within a split second. Stressed, you bury it in work. You feel stressed. I've been feeling very stressed building this out and building the app. So guess what? I'm skipping lunch. I'm working and grinding. My emotions are driving my actions. Fear, you hide in procrastination. You're uncertain, you're afraid, so you put things off. You focus on tasks that aren't important. And instead of using these emotions, which are here for you as fuel, you become their slave. These emotions are painful, so you suppress and sedate. When I feel stressed, I want to drink. When I feel angry, I want to scream and yell at my kids. I ruin my relationships. These emotions are painful and we don't know how to feel them, so we suppress the emotions. We pretend like things are okay. I'm fine. I'm good. No, I'm all good. Don't worry about it. Or we blow up like a ticking time bomb because they're suppressed for so long. Or we sedate them with drugs, substances, alcohol, screens because we don't understand these emotions. We're blind to them. The third problem is this puts you in a place called the pit of uncertainty. Because your negative thoughts that you're not aware of are happening, your words and your dialogue is negative, because you have emotional blindness, you don't focus on what you want. You drift instead of directing. You fall short of the goal. You don't get what you want, you get more of what you don't want. Most men can't clearly answer, what do you want in 12 months? What do you want in 5 years? What do you want your marriage to look like? What do you want your business to look like? What do you want your team to look like? Instead, they say what they don't want. I don't want to be broke. I don't want a shit team. I'm sick of having shitty staff. I'm sick of my wife not giving me love. I don't want to fight with my wife anymore. I don't want to feel tired. I'm exhausted. I'm stressed. It's all negative. And where focus goes, energy flows. And when focus is on the problems, you create more problems. You get stuck in a frame of problems, and that's all you can see. This is why men, when their wife has dishes in the sink, get so fucking angry and go, she doesn't care, she doesn't appreciate me, and they ignore all the other things the wife does. This is when your team aren't performing. You get so angry at them, even though they're busting their balls, doing their best, because you're focusing on the problems and you're creating more problems. This puts you in a place where you live in chaos. We've discussed this multiple times. Maybe you do know what to do. Maybe you are trying to get what you want, but you don't do it. You live in chaos, not clarity. Your negative thoughts and your negative emotions and your negative actions and reactions are putting you in a place where you do the work, but you don't know what the fuck you want and you don't know how to get it. This is why you feel stuck. This is why you feel suppressed, because you're lacking clarity and you're living in chaos. Like, let's be honest, brother. You know you should train and exercise and eat well. You know you should do the AM journal and the AM power up. You know you should switch off from work and be present, but you don't fucking do it. Instead, you live in chaos, putting out fires, reacting, and you're running on fumes. So many men are burnt out. Knowing what to do isn't the problem. Doing is the solution, right? Being the man who does it is the solution. And this is a place where you end up feeling inconsistent. You fail to show up the same way every day. This is why we do streaks. You're hot one week, cold the next. You're up and down like a yo-yo. You're a roller coaster of ups and downs, emotional ups, emotional downs, negative thoughts, positive thoughts, arguments, connection, communication, none. It's a vicious fucking yo-yo and roller coaster. Some days you crush it, other days you collapse. You're consistent with being inconsistent, and the result? Your body never transforms. Your business flatlines. Your wife doesn't feel safe or secure. Consistency is trust. And without it, no one trusts you. But without it, you don't trust yourself when you lack this as a man. And again, this all comes from your words, from your beliefs. And in this place, it's such a dark place. You can be successful and be in this place. You repel reality. You literally push away the life you want and deserve. Your patterns of thinking, your patterns of emotion, your patterns of actions sabotage your potential. You literally destroy what you want. There's dishes in the sink. You get angry. You yell. You react. She's upset at you. All you wanted was the dishes to be done. You're not intimate in your relationship. You react. You get emotional. You don't understand it. And then guess what? She pulls away. You want a team to perform. They're not performing. You yell at them. You get angry. You get frustrated. You get stressed. Guess what? They quit. You get less of what you want. You're like a magnet with another magnet repelling each other because it's in the wrong direction. So you want love, but you show up closed off. You want success, but you procrastinate. You want energy, but you sedate with booze, porn, or endless scrolling. The reality you want is trying to come to you, but your patterns of thinking and operating are repelling what you want. Now you got to understand this one principle here. The man who doesn't control his inner world becomes a slave to the outer one. The man who doesn't control his inner world, this thing up here, becomes a slave to his outer one. You're reactive to the world, to your wife, to your team, to your business, to the world. And this is a place where you have no power. Now, all of this comes down to this one idea of limiting beliefs. This is the power of your language. The number one thing holding you back isn't strategy, marketing, sales, delivery in business, communication, connection in your relationship. The number one thing holding you back is the stories you believe and the words that you use. I cannot stress this enough. This is the biggest breakthrough for you. It's not that you don't know what to do. The stories that you believe in your head keep you stuck. And those stories are the words you use. You don't speak like a caveman. It's all words. When you change your words, you change your world. And this is a game of control. You can't control anyone else. You can only control yourself. One of the most stressful things as a man is I can't control my wife. I want her to have sex with me, but she's not. I can't control my children. They're acting up. You can't control your business. You can't control your team. You can't control anything external to you. You can only control yourself. The only control you have is over your thoughts, feelings, actions, and reactions. Everything else, it's out of your control. But that's also freedom. You stop wasting energy trying to control everything external, other people, and you start taking radical responsibility for yourself, for your perspective, for your worldview, for the way you look at things. Because there's a difference between influence and control. It's not about being in control. I'm a control freak. I want to be in control of everything. It's about becoming influential. You can't control others, but you can influence others, and they can influence you. But only you decide how to respond. You can decide how to respond to business stress. You can decide how to respond to relationship problems. You can decide how to respond to any problem in your life. No one can make you feel anything. It's all on you. You can influence your wife. You can influence your team. You can influence your kids, but you can't control them. And they can influence you, but they can't control you. And here's the kicker, unless you let them. Influence is not control. This is where power begins. And this is where we go into something called the power loop of conscious creation. Your words create emotions, your emotions drive actions, and your actions drive your results or lack thereof. Words, what's going on inside of your head? This is why we journal. This is why we do a PM reflection. You're bringing awareness to your words and your language. What emotions are you feeling when you believe these words? Are you feeling happy and positive and joyful? Or are you feeling stressed, overwhelmed, depressed, and anxious? That's going to drive your actions. You can have the same problem, relationship problem. And if your words are positive and your emotions are grateful and joyful, you're going to take different actions in that relationship. But if your words are, my wife doesn't care, and you're emotionally feeling frustrated and angry, your actions are going to be to pull away. And that's going to drive your results. Your words drive your emotions drive your actions drive your results, and this drives your identity, who you're showing up as in each moment. And this power loop repeats over and over and over again. This is the loop. This is why you're stuck. Your words create emotions, your emotions drive actions, your actions create results. And those results reinforce your identity. Around and around you go on this loop. And all of it's happening unconsciously, just like driving a car. You're not thinking about it. It happens by default. It happens in your body with the way you look after your physical health. It happens with your mind, with what goes on emotionally and in your inner world. It happens in your balance with how you show up as a husband, as a father, as a leader. It happens in your wealth with your bank balance, your business, your career. This is all happening through this power loop. And this power loop is simply words and words of beliefs. Your beliefs define your reality. Beliefs are feelings of certainty. And if your desires don't align with your beliefs, you won't achieve shit. I cannot stress this enough. If you want an amazing business, but you believe you can't find good staff, you're not going to get what you want. If you want more intimacy and sex, but you believe your wife's a bitch or she's not putting in effort or it's her fault, you're not going to get what you want. Your beliefs must align with your desires. Beliefs are feelings of nothing but absolute certainty governing your behavior. If you desire money, but deep down you believe you're bad with money, you'll sabotage every opportunity. If you desire love, but believe women can't be trusted, you'll push love away. Your beliefs dictate your results. Your beliefs are framed in pain. Pain is the proof. If you're not getting what you want in any area, body, mind, balance, and wealth, it means your beliefs, your words, your language, they are stealing your power. Pain isn't random. Pain is proof that your beliefs and desires don't match. If you feel stuck in your body, marriage, or business, that's proof your beliefs are out of alignment with what you want. Now that pain is feedback. If you ignore it, you will waste decades. And it's all just words. It's all just stories that you tell yourself. Most beliefs are just stories that you made up. You might have heard them from your parents. A man needs to work hard. Boys don't cry. And there's nothing wrong with beliefs, but if they cause pain, they must be reframed. Here's the truth. Most of your beliefs are just stories. You've stitched together meaning from the past events and you've called it truth. Something happened in your marriage and you've created a story that is now true to you, that dictates your actions and behaviors. But if that story is creating pain, it's not the truth. It's a prison, and prisons can be escaped. So we get to rewrite the story using the power of reframe. To reframe is shifting the meaning of the story. When you change the story, you change the outcome. If you can change the story and shift the meaning, you change the emotion, you change the actions, you change the results, and you get what you want. You can have the same event, you just choose a new story. Instead of she cheated, so I'll never trust her again, you say she cheated, that's feedback. She wouldn't cheat on me if I was a man worth keeping. Now I get to become a man who attracts loyalty. My wife isn't doing the dishes. My story is she doesn't care. Same event, new story. What could be going on for her today? What have I not been doing to support her? Same event, new story, different emotions, different actions. And that same event now has a new outcome. And that's the power of reframes. Words are the gateway. Words are power. Words frame your belief drives your results. When you shift your words, you shift your world. The way you speak to yourself in your mind, the things you say out loud, they create those beliefs, and those belief drives actions, actions drive results. And this is why language, your words, are the front line of transformation. When you change your words, you literally change your world. Everything around you shifts. So I want you to start thinking as we head into the next section, what are the words going through your mind? What are the things you tell yourself every single day? What are you noticing in your AM journal when you write it down? What are you noticing in your PM reflection when you write it down? This is why it's so important to fucking do it. Change your words and you literally change your world. I want you to mark this video as complete and then move on to the next section.